What is going on, Moon Gang? We are back at it again. My name is Matt, and this channel is all about stocks, trading, and investing. As we're heading into the final trading week of February, Bitcoin just managed to hit a new all-time high. In fact, as I'm filming this, Bitcoin is trading just below $58,000 per coin. Absolutely incredible. In this video, I'll be explaining some of my own thoughts on the current crypto rally, then I'll be sharing some of my own plans on how to profit off of all of the excitement, and finally, I'll be doing a technical breakdown of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin so we have a better idea of what price levels to pay attention to as the trading week plays itself out. But before I get into all that fun stuff, don't forget to join up with the Moon Gang by hitting the subscribe button. I'm on my journey to 100,000 subscribers, and your help with that would be truly appreciated. Alrighty, now that we got all of that out of the way, let's hop into the video. So as I said, Bitcoin is currently trading just below 58,000. In fact, it's at 57,600. And if you do any common searches related to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, any of them, there's a good chance that you're going to find some negative headlines such as this. Bitcoin is going to crash. The big question is when. Now, obviously, this is a bit clickbaity. They're just trying to get people to read it. And this particular one, which can be found on Investor Place, I'll make sure to link it below, actually has a fair amount of pretty useful information in it. So quickly, it does touch on the history of Bitcoin crashes. Mainly, it focused on 2017, talked a bit about 2013. But I wanted to bring to your attention are the three main catalysts that could potentially bring Bitcoin down, at least even potentially just temporarily. The first is simply the parabolic gains, not just in Bitcoin, but across asset classes. So basically the reasoning behind this is that so much stuff is going up that people might switch to being a bit more risk adverse and want to take some of their profits, which in the end could cause people to take money out of Bitcoin, really commodities, other stocks, and then we might see a small decline there. So that's what this is referring to. There are going to be crashes elsewhere, whether in crypto, stocks, or commodities, and those crashes may well read across to Bitcoin, de-risk by causing people to de-risk by converting to from BTC to USD. More importantly, and this is the one I mainly follow, there's also a regulatory environment. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has repeatedly and publicly raised concerns about cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. Certainly, Yellen can't ban Bitcoin trading and send its value to zero, but she can impact potentially bullish catalysts like the long-awaited launch of an exchange-traded fund. For those of you who don't know, exchange-traded fund, we commonly refer to that as an ETF, and it can basically best be thought of a basket of things. So in this sense, a crypto ETF might track multiple cryptocurrencies. It could have a certain percentage exposure to Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, Litecoin, all of those. So a lot of people are waiting on that, and the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen can definitely kind of stymie the process. Finally, there's a possibility that Bitcoin itself simply has run too far. So right now, it's all over the news. Everyone knows that crypto is running, specifically Bitcoin. So you're getting a lot of people who are kind of FOMOing into the situation. They don't want to miss out, so they're buying in, and it's going up, up, and up. As soon as they see a slight decline, we might run into a situation where they're not die-hard long-term crypto/Bitcoin investors. So they might have kind of paper hands in this situation, and weak hands when they sell, when they see a little bit of red, it'll cause it to come down, and then people with medium strength hands, they might sell. So something like that could happen. But these are three things that are definitely real and worthwhile to pay attention to. I'm in no way arguing that they're imminent, but it's definitely something to consider when you're doing any crypto investment. On the other hand, though, there are some very reasonable cases for staying in with your crypto/Bitcoin investment. An investor can believe that both a Bitcoin will crash again and Bitcoin is still worth owning right now. I know that seems a little bit contradictory, but I really like how the author said this. First, the crash may still be a long ways off and more upside may follow. An analyst could have correctly predicted the early 2017 that Bitcoin was going to crash within a year. A trader who listened to that advice still would have missed out on gains of at least 200%. That this rally doesn't have to end immediately. So this all comes back to just timing the market can be extremely, extremely difficult. Even if you're right now and Bitcoin does take a multi-$10,000 hit, well, what does that mean for the prediction of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies years down the road? Second, there's a case that trying to time the crash, assuming it arrives, is a fool's errand. Timing the stock market is a notoriously impossible strategy. Bitcoin's history suggests it isn't any different. That's exactly what I just said. But just to be a little bit fair, I do like this conclusion. Short-term bursts of optimism like we're seeing now almost are always followed by a reversal. So what this is saying is just on a more microscopic scale, it might be a bit overextended and we could just see a very healthy pullback. I want to reiterate that. A pullback in Bitcoin at this point would definitely be healthy. In my opinion, it would absolutely be no reason to panic whatsoever. We could find new technical supports, new fundamental supports, and once a new base is built, it can then continue to go up from there. The big question is, it remains to see how steep this reversal is and from what point it begins. These are two massive things that are unknown, and it's one of those things that you really don't know the answer until it's already come and passed. Hindsight bias is definitely going to be 2020. Now, before we go into more information specific to cryptos, really Bitcoin and Ethereum, there is one thing I want to bring to your attention about a possible another way to make money off of this entire run-up besides just directly owning a cryptocurrency. And that comes to some of these companies such as Riot Blockchain that are known as Bitcoin miners. Supporting the Bitcoin opportunity, Riot Blockchain focuses on Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin is a publicly traded company. It trades under the ticker symbol RIOT. As of now, the stock is trading at $71.35. Over the past week, it is up 29.5%. Over the past month, it's up 211%. Over the past 3 months, it's up an incredible 1,000%. And get ready, over the past year, if you were to have bought Riot last February, you would now be up almost 5,000%. Now, to be completely transparent with you, I don't own any shares of Riot, but I do have a long position on the company. I own some call options on Riot. For those of you who don't know about call or put options, this video isn't really a tutorial for that, but all you really need to know is that when you buy call options on a company, it's a highly leveraged way to basically take a long bet, as in that it's going to go up. When I say leverage, it's leverage at a rate of 101. As of now, I own 6 call options on Riot that expire on February 26th. The strike price is $75, and I paid $9.33 per contract. Once again, for those of you who are new, I'm not trying to confuse you here. Basically, I'm just saying by next Friday, Riot will be higher. And as of now, I am down on this trade, but Riot stopped trading when the overall normal stock market closed on Friday. So now that Bitcoin has been trending up all weekend, as of now, my big assumption is that these call options will open up quite a bit higher when the market reopens on Monday morning. Most recently, this is the biggest piece of news related to Riot and other Bitcoin miners. Riot Blockchain, Canaan, the Nine stock all soar today as Bitcoin becomes a $1 trillion asset. Bitcoin reached an unprecedented milestone for a cryptocurrency on Friday morning. The price of Bitcoin tokens surpassed 53,700. Don't forget, as of now, it's trading closer to 58,000. So now it's even more past 1 trillion. And stocks that are related to Bitcoin, Riot, Canaan, the Nine. This also includes Hive, SOS, Mara. These are all stocks that are going to be related to Bitcoin cryptocurrency. And as the currencies go up, most likely these stocks will as well. This article was just posted on The Motley Fool. I'll also make sure to link this one in a description below if you want to read it. The main thing I want to bring to your attention is that, in my opinion, crypto is a good long-term play, especially now that more quote-unquote mainstream Wall Street players are getting behind the movement. Tesla, Elon Musk, notoriously supportive of it. In fact, they just put $1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin tokens on the balance sheet. They're saying that it's a hedge against inflation. I think that's a very smart strategy. Apple Wallet is now doing some things with Bitcoin. MicroStrategy said that they want to buy $1 billion worth in convertible notes. Absolutely crazy. So I think as the sentiment continues to be more and more bullish among normal Wall Street companies supportive of this cryptocurrency movement, we'll just see a big push higher and higher. And don't forget that rising tides bring up all ships. So it's not just Bitcoin, but we have Ethereum, Litecoin, I think there's quite a few ways to make money in this overall push. And that's my big opinion. I do think at this moment in time on a micro scale, as we're about to see in the charts, that things are a bit overextended. But if we see a small sell-off, to me, that's just an opportunity to buy more on a nice discount and then ride it for years to come. Keep in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. These are just my own opinions. But as of now, I feel pretty confident in it. Alrighty. Now, before we hop into the charts of Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Dogecoin, I just wanted to show you Riot, the Bitcoin miner. So right now, Riot is trading at $71.33. It did have a post-market high just below $84. These white trend lines are just basically a channel that the stock seems to be following, at least from early February. Upward channels like this in the world of technical analysis are referred to as bear flags. You didn't mishear me. It's called a bear flag. I know it's a bit unintuitive, but it's basically just because they commonly break downward. As you can see in the aftermarkets trading on February 18th, there was a breakdown, but the bull camp quickly stepped back in and tried to push it back up. As of now, where the market closed on Friday, it was pretty close to breaking down, but the strength that I'm seeing in Bitcoin right now tells me that it most likely won't be trading below this line when the market opens back up. Of course, many things can happen overnight, so we'll have to see how it plays out. But basically for me, this is the one that I have the call options on. I'm watching very closely to see if it can just keep trading in this channel. And even though it is a rarity, it would be nice if we saw another breakout attempt. The other thing we have going on the screen right now is on the bottom here. It is the relative strength index indicator, also known as the RSI. It happens to be one of my favorite technical indicators. Basically, it has values from 0 to 100. When you get very high, above 70, that's considered to be extremely bullish. And when you get below 30, that's considered to be extremely bearish. Just so you know, day traders, swing traders, investors, they like to use this tool as a reversion play. So basically when it gets super high, as we saw with Riot trading close to $84, they look for a brief sell-off, and that's exactly what happened. So once again, when there's a lot of bullishness, they look for things to calm down a bit. Over the past 2 trading days, that's what's happened in Riot. It hit 84. The stock was very overbought. Since then, we've come back in closer to this neutral territory. So I'm hoping that's enough of a consolidation / cool off period that Riot can continue its trip upward. So that's the main thing I'll be looking for. In terms of technical resistance, I'll be watching this top trend line and of course this all-time high of 84. And in terms of support, I'll be watching this bottom trend line and also wherever we came in this trading around just below $60. Those are the main technical levels I'll be watching for this final trading week in February. All right, now let's switch it up to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, now we're getting actually even closer to 58,000. Right before I started filming this, it hit a new all-time high of $58,354. Clearly, I mean, if we even go out a bit, you can just see that Bitcoin has been on the up and up. After spiking to 48,000 on February 8th, it was then in this rising wedge. Once again, that's just another technical pattern where you see higher lows, higher highs. It ended up breaking upward right above this key psychological level of 50,000. Personally, I thought that there was going to be a struggle there, just like a lot of people happy with the gains that they've already seen. But it didn't take much. And since then, it's just been exploding. Absolute rocket ship. It hit 52,000, took a break, reaffirmed this top trend line. From there, it shot above 54,000. The reason I have this marked out is because when there was a bit of selling, that's where it found support. So I'm expecting that to continue to act as technical support in the future. And as of now, my main suggestion is, since we're trading at all-time highs, I can't really call out technical resistance above here because the chart hasn't developed in this region. So because of that, we're going to have to let price discovery play itself out. When I say that, it's just basically we need to see where the levels of supply and demand really lie. But other than that, my big suggestion would be to watch more of those key levels that humans care about, basically those round numbers, 60,000, 65,000, 70,000, 75,000. Of course, as this continues to develop, I'll make more and more videos and lay out the levels that have proven to be important. The one thing I want to bring to your attention here, at least on this 4-hour chart, is don't forget where we are in the RSI. Once again, we are in that very bullish, aka the overbought territory. So don't be surprised if it takes a small decline or trades sideways just for this to cool off. Obviously, it doesn't have to happen. No technical indicator is ever perfect. It's just one tool that you can use to help you make more informed decisions. All right, let's switch over to Ethereum. Ethereum, for about the past 2 weeks, I was calling for it to hit $2,000 per coin, excuse me, sooner rather than later. We did hit that. It got an all-time high of $2,040. Also, please pay attention to how that was very much associated with this spike in the RSI. Since then, not only has Ethereum been coming down, but the relative strength index has been cooling off. Similar to Bitcoin, it was in this rising wedge. We saw the higher highs, the higher lows. After breaking out, I would really classify this as a fake out breakout. It got on the top side of this trend line. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough bullish follow through and it broke down. But here, not only do we have this previous high of 1,825, but this sell-off, which was also associated with the sell-off in Bitcoin, basically just reaffirmed this bottom trend line and that price level. So in terms of resistance, of course, I would recommend paying attention to the key psychological level of 2000 and also this current all-time high of 2040. But in terms of technical support, it looks like there's a lot of demand, not only at this bottom trend line, but at this price level and wherever this mini peak was to, right above 1800. So I'll be looking for more support to be found there in the future. Finally, let's switch it up to more of the meme coin, Dogecoin. Dogecoin did hit an all-time high just below 9 cents. Since then, it was selling off following this trend line down. Recently, though, this was actually, we saw a nice breakout during the Roaring Kitty congressional hearing on day one. There was a nice breakout. Similar to Ethereum, we didn't see much of that follow through, and since then, it's been trading flat. I do like that it got out of this trend line, but basically with Dogecoin, clearly it's deviated from Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, like all those common ones. It's just been trading sideways. So we just need more action. We need more volume. There really isn't too much to go over with it at this moment in time. I think it'll turn bullish once again if it gets above 6 cents. That seems to be technical resistance, support, resistance once again. And then in terms of the closest technical support, I'd be watching this low right above 5 cents. Really 5 cents, that's actually where I have my own trailing stop sent to. It's a key psychological level. It's a nice level of technical support. If it breaks below that, I'll most likely lock in my gains. Just so you know, I showed you my position on Riot. I have those call options. I am invested in Bitcoin. I'm invested in Ethereum. I'm specifically saying invested because I'm in Bitcoin and Ethereum for the long haul. And as of now, I'm just swing trading Dogecoin. My average on Dogecoin is 3.8 cents. And if it breaks below 5 cents, I'll most likely lock in my gains. And then if I can pick up more on a nice dip and ride it upward once again, I'll definitely do that. But that's more of an active swing trade, while I plan on being invested in Bitcoin and Ethereum for the long run. Speaking of which, before I wrap things up, if you want a nice way to get Bitcoin and Ethereum, I would 100% recommend BlockFi. I've been on their services now for the past 2 weeks, and I think it's phenomenal. I've been buying Bitcoin and Ethereum through them. So you are allowed to buy Bitcoin. You can buy, trade. But what I really like is now that I own my Bitcoin and Ethereum there, per year, I'm earning an extra 8.6%. To me, it seems like such an obvious option or an obvious awesome thing to do. So not only am I riding the current wave in crypto, but I'm earning an extra 8.6% for just letting it sit in BlockFi. BlockFi is basically a normal bank, but for cryptos. They also have loans. I haven't personally done that yet, but thus far, I can definitely say my experience with BlockFi has been a positive one. If you're interested in trying it out, there is a link below. Depending, if you use my affiliate code, depending on how much you deposit, you can get up to an extra free $250 worth of Bitcoin. And this just came in the mail. I got my wallet finally. I personally got the Ledger Nano X. It looks, for those of you who aren't too familiar with what a Ledger is, it looks like a little USB, but it's a way you can safely secure your crypto offline. I leave a decent amount of my crypto in my BlockFi account, but then just to be extra safe, I took some offline in this little Ledger thing. I keep it in a safe just so I don't have to like completely worry about like hacking or anything like that. But to be completely honest, I'm not really worried about hacking to begin with. It's just to lessen my risk a little bit. So also there's a link for that below. Other than that, I would love to know your opinions, not only on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Dogecoin, and Riot, but what are your general thoughts on crypto? Are you in it for the long run? Do you think it's just a fad that's going to crash? I truthfully want to know your thoughts on it. I'm bullish on it. I'm bullish on all of those, including Riot. But I would be more than happy to have a good conversation with you, and maybe I can learn a thing or two. But I very much hope that you got some entertainment and learn a thing or two from this video. Don't forget, if you want to stay up to date with the Moon Gang, whether it's stocks, crypto, investing, education, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 100,000, and I would very much appreciate your help. Well, thank you for spending a portion of your day with me. And remember, best of luck in the markets.